Ukrainians still putting up a brave fight to the Russian invasion, now nearly 3 weeks old. So far, the U.S. is imposing sanctions on Russia and sending aid to Ukraine. No boots on the ground. President Biden says there are no plans for U.S. combat forces in Ukraine. WPTV's Matt Cesney spoke with a retired general about the prospect of the U.S. and Russia at war.
As Ukrainians and Russians continue to fight it out half a world away, worry does seem to be growing about how long the U.S. can stay out of the fight.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm more worried tonight than I was on February 24th during the invasion. I am worried that it spills outside of Ukraine.
Retired Air Force Lieutenant General Richard Newton spoke with me candidly about the risk of U.S. involvement on the ground and in the air. With new atrocities mounting every day by Russia, pressure builds for the U.S. and NATO countries to do more. And it may come to that, Newton says.
So if you have an attack on one NATO member, then it's an attack on all. And that's when the game changes at that point.
Newton says declaring a no-fly zone is a tall order and certainly increases chances for escalation.
The question is, what's the prudent course of action?
Dr. Robert Lloyd is the public policy director at Palm Beach Atlantic University and says war triggers can happen at any moment.
It could be anything. It could be an accidental attack, a missile launched in Ukraine that goes astray and strikes a populated center in Poland. That would certainly trigger a major response right there.
If it comes to that, the retired general delivered this message.
I would tell our viewers, our military is today the best led, the best equipped, and frankly, ready to defend our freedoms at any call. They will run to the sound of guns.
Richard Newton says if it does come to that, any involvement by the U.S. and NATO would only be to liberate Ukraine and not go marching to Moscow. The only wild card in all this, Vladimir Putin and his nuclear weapons. In West Palm Beach, Matt Cesney, WPTV, News Channel 5.